What if I told you the world isn't run by presidents and corporations, that there is a power whose tentacles have infiltrated every city, every business, every port? A shadow empire built on blood and fear, one you've likely never even heard of. Forget the Sicilian mafia from the movies. Today, we talk about the true masters of the planet, about those whose annual fortune exceeds the budgets of some countries, about a family whose laws are unbreakable and where betrayal is punished by death. They are called the Ndrangheta. And this isn't just a gang, it's a hydra. Cut off one head and two more grow in its place. Watch until the end, and I will reveal the main secret to their immortality. A secret ritual that makes them stronger than any army. A mystery that authorities have tried to solve for over 100 years. To understand who they are, we must travel to the very south of Italy, to the region of Calabria. This is a land scorched by the sun and poverty, where the state has always been an outsider, an enemy. It was here, in the mid-19th century, that the Ndrangheta was born. Its name comes from a Greek word meaning courage or heroism. They didn't see themselves as bandits. They were men of honor who created their own state with its own laws. Unlike the Sicilian Cosa Nostra, which has a hierarchical army-like structure, the Ndrangheta's strength is in blood. Its foundation is the Ndrangheta, a single family controlling its territory. All key positions are held only by blood relatives, fathers, sons, brothers, uncles, nephews. This makes them virtually immune to betrayal. How can you turn in your own brother or father to the police? Blood is the oath. Blood is the law. To become part of this family, it's not enough to simply be born into it. You must pass an initiation rite. Imagine a dark room, surrounded by the clan's most respected members. They place an icon of Saint Michael the Archangel in your hand. Your finger is pricked with a needle, and a drop of your blood falls onto the icon. Then, the icon is set on fire, and you must hold it as it burns to ash, reciting an oath.
I swear to be loyal to my brothers. I swear to never betray them and to always help them. If I break this oath, may my flesh burn just as this holy image burns. From that second on, you are a soldier of the Ndrangheta. Your old life is dead. Your only family now is the clan, and the only law you obey is Omertà, the code of silence. Break it, and not only will you die, but so will your loved ones. For a long time, the Ndrangheta remained in the shadow of its older brothers from Sicily. They were poor and wild shepherds, engaged in extortion and kidnapping. The world learned of their cruelty in 1973 when they kidnapped the grandson of the world's richest man, oil magnate John Paul Getty. When the grandfather refused to pay the ransom, the gangsters cut off the boy's ear and mailed it to a newspaper. This was their signature: animalistic brutality and a complete disregard for human life. They didn't act like businessmen, they acted like wolves. The money from kidnappings wasn't spent on luxury, they invested it in the future. And that future was drugs. In the 80s, while all the world's special services were fighting Colombian cartels and the Sicilian mafia, the Calabrians were quietly and methodically building their cocaine empire. They understood something others didn't. To control the trade, you must control the roots. They seized control of Italy's main port, Gioia Tauro. Today, up to 80% of all cocaine entering Europe passes through it. They don't just buy and sell. They became world-class brokers. Colombian cartels entrust them with their product, because the Ndrangheta always pays and never cheats. They are the Amazon of the criminal underworld. They have their own logistics, their own people in ports worldwide, from South America to Australia. They hide cocaine in containers of bananas, in marble slabs, in shipments of frozen fish. Their ingenuity is limitless. The Ndrangheta's annual turnover from drug trafficking is estimated at 50 to 60 billion euros. That's more than McDonald's and Deutsche Bank combined.
But the genius of this organization lies elsewhere. They don't just sell drugs, they launder this dirty money, turning it into legitimate business. And this is where it gets truly terrifying. The Ndrangheta's tentacles have now infiltrated places you would never expect. They own restaurant and hotel chains, construction companies, supermarkets. They invest in renewable energy, waste management, and high technology. You could be sitting in a cozy pizzeria somewhere in Berlin or Paris, enjoying your meal without a clue that the owner is a member of a Calabrian clan, and the money you're paying will fund the purchase of a new shipment of cocaine or weapons. They've learned to wear expensive suits and speak the language of business. They bribe politicians, officials, judges. They have created a shadow state within the state. At the head of this state is the Kremen, a supreme council of the leaders of the most influential clans. They meet once a year in the mountains of Calabria at the sanctuary of Our Lady of Polsi to decide on global matters, divide territories, and settle disputes. It's like the board of directors of a giant corporation, only instead of presentations, they have reports on arms shipments, and instead of bonuses, the power of life and death. Legendary leaders like Pasquale Condello, nicknamed Il Supremo, the Supreme One, evaded justice for decades, running their empire from secret bunkers, or Antonio Pelle, who lived like a hermit in the mountains but controlled a billion-dollar drug trafficking operation. These men aren't just gangsters, they are geniuses of strategy and conspiracy, true kings of the underworld whose names inspire terror. So what is their secret? Why can't the state destroy them? The answer is simple. They've become part of the system. They create jobs where the state is powerless. They give people work, albeit criminal work. In Calabria, many see them not as criminals, but as the only real authority. They are a social elevator for desperate young men who see no other path but to pick up a gun.
Their laws are brutal but clear. Be loyal to the family. Don't talk to the police. Respect your elders. Break the rules and you die. This simple and terrifying philosophy has worked flawlessly for over 150 years. They have survived wars, dictators, economic crises, and each time they only grew stronger. They adapt like a virus, mutating and penetrating deeper into the healthy body of society. The Italian authorities are in a constant war with them. High-profile maxi trials take place, with hundreds of clan members in the dock. But for every arrested boss, his son, brother, or nephew immediately takes his place. A system built on blood regenerates itself with incredible speed. It is an eternal battle where the Hydra always has a spare head. Today, the Ndrangheta is a global threat. Their cells operate in Germany, Spain, the Netherlands, the USA, Canada, Australia. They are an invisible web that has ensnared the planet. They don't advertise themselves, they don't give interviews, they don't star in movies. They just make money. Vast, bloody sums of money. And as long as there is demand for drugs and corruption, their empire will thrive. The Ndrangheta is not just a story about gangsters. It's a lesson in how the weakness of the state creates monsters, and how poverty drives people down a path of violence. It is living proof that the most dangerous enemies are those who operate in the shadows. Their strength lies in our ignorance, but now you know the truth. Want to peer even deeper into the abyss of the criminal world? If this video gets 5,000 likes, I will release a feature on the most secretive and mysterious syndicate on the planet, the Japanese Yakuza. We will analyze the meaning of their tattoos, understand their code of honor, and learn all about the gruesome finger-severing ritual of Ubitsume. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Hit the bell and write in the comments which gang you want to hear about next. See you on the dark side of the street.